Hey guys, Dave here, and in this video I want to talk about how to launch your hybrid coaching program. So hopefully by now you've already gone through the worksheet and gotten to the part where you have your program map summary here, which you should have kind of the before of knowing exactly who you're going after. You should have 8 weeks of topics you're going to take them through, and you should have a pretty clear picture about what sort of transformation you want to offer them at the end of your program here. And so you should have an 8 week program, a relative outline here. And in my opinion, as I've worked with dozens of clients doing this, you guys are ready to launch right now. And I know it may not seem like that, but at this point, I'm going to actually explain kind of the fundamentals of how this program works, how your program is put together, and so that you actually can go out there and make your first sale at this point in the process. So kind of an overview of what we're going to be going over here. The fact that you really now should be knowing who you're selling to, know the transformation that you're offering them, and the high level process that you'll take them through, and you're ready to sell. So I'm going to show you here how to structure the program so it's built to scale from the beginning. Now, a lot of people make mistakes here, and here's kind of the most common mistakes that I see. The first thing is that once you kind of have your 8 weeks, most people feel like they've got to go create tons of content, and they'll spend weeks or months, building slides and filming videos and creating worksheets and all this type of stuff. And they think they've got to go out there and create the slides and all that beforehand. That's one massive mistake I want to help you correct here. The second thing would be tweaking and perfecting before the launch. So maybe they want to, make sure they've got their 8 weeks just right, or make sure they've got a cool landing page or cool website. That is a big mistake to make here. And then the third would just be, sitting behind your computer screen and waiting to engage the market and start selling. Always doing everything, just online, tweaking things or organizing things or set up spreadsheets, when guys, you've got, now is the time to get out there and engage the market and start testing whether or not what you got in weeks 1 or days 1 through 5 are actually legitimate here. So here's kind of a little chart for you guys that kind of gives you a breakdown of how I think your hybrid program should work. I mean, essentially, you're bringing people in through, either a paid traffic funnel or some organic methods, which I'm going to talk about in the next video. You're bringing them into an 8 week program. Here's how the 8 weeks can kind of work. Week 1, 2, all the way through 8. This could be a weekly group call where you're presenting with slides, whatever the topic is. Again, this is what you should have written out at the previous step in day 5 here. And so each week you meet together for a group call, group webinar, where you'll record the video, record the actual presentation that you'll use later on for a course inside a membership portal. So there'll be the 8 weeks there. In there, you can also intersperse some one-on-one calls. So you can do these every week. You can do them every other week. Kind of what, early on, I recommend having more one-on-one calls here. So even maybe stacking them at the beginning here to really get a feel for your audience and really get a feel for kind of how the people are doing, what are they learning, what are they liking about weeks 1, 2, and 3, what are they not understanding, helping you fill in the gaps there. And then there will be a Facebook group that kind of holds everybody in there and builds up some community. I'll talk about that later. Here's kind of the basic structure here, and this is just part of really what your program could be. I want to zoom out just a little bit and just show you kind of where this is going here, because the long-term potential is huge here. Now you could sell somebody into your 8 week program. I recommend between $1,000 and $7,000 to get them into kind of your initial 8 week program there. And I want you guys to be able to see where this is headed here. Otherwise, this part you might get a little bit nervous or greedy. Obviously, these are good numbers here, but really where a lot of the profit comes from, where a lot of the potential, just what I think is a lot of fun, is when you can start offering a mastermind on the back end of this, a 6-month mastermind, 12-month mastermind, where you're still doing some calls, but then you can start throwing in, high ticket events at cool places. And this is more kind of the super high ticket, where you can sell this more for $8,000 to $15,000 for, say, a 6-month mastermind. You could do a 12-month as well, but I want you guys to see kind of the full picture here. But again, we're going to dial back into this part here, but I want you to know about this because it puts everything in better perspective here. So kind of diving into how to launch your first class here. So again, I've done this a lot with people. We've launched classes ourselves. I've seen some things that work and things that don't work. But really the key here, guys, is to just get started. Getting started is what you need to focus on right now. It's not perfection, it's not getting things right, it's just getting things started. So what I recommend is just set a start date 2 to 3 weeks out right now. Look at the calendar, say 2 to 3 weeks out, set a start date, and write that thing down on the calendar and commit to it. That is the launch of your program. And next, you want to look to get about 5 to 10 people in from email lists, from Facebook posts, other organic channels, which I'll talk about in the next video. And you want to basically let people know that you actually have something to sell them now. You actually have a program where you can work with people individually and bring them, onto a call where you can kind of assess their needs, see, if they actually have the pain that you can solve that you wrote out in your program map summary. Tell them about kind of the program that you're offering, and then if they're a good fit, make an offer to them and bring them into your program. You can sell them right there, even if the program doesn't exist yet, even if there's nothing else. You say, hey, I'm going to be starting this thing in 2 weeks. And again, here's kind of what it's going to be. I'm kind of putting together the finishing touches here. If you'd like to join, it's $2,000, or you could break it up into 2 payments of $1,000. They pull out their wallet, they pay you right there. I recommend taking payment right there on the phone. And again, we made a software called Pay Funnels. You don't have to use this. You can use other softwares out there. This works really, really well for taking payment over the phone very quickly and easily. We built it specifically for coaches and consultants. So again, check that out. I really love it. It's what we use all the time, and what a lot of people do. Hundreds of people are using it now every single month, and yeah, you guys will like that. So use that if you want something to kind of integrate with Stripe and take all payments. And then once you have some sales, only once you've engaged the market, only once you have some sales, should you go out there and create the slides of content for week 1 and week 2. And again, I recommend you just do a screen share, kind of like I'm doing here. Bring people on a live webinar though, so they can kind of ask questions and engage with you throughout. So each week you'll bring people on a live webinar, 5 to 10 people. You'll deliver the content. You'll ask some questions throughout, and you'll give a little recap at the end of it. But don't create more than week 1 or week 2. You want to then record the content on the live webinars throughout the 8 weeks. And here's the reason that I say don't give them more than week, or don't create more than week 1 and week 2, because you need to engage the market. You need to find out after week 1 what was confusing to them, what was hard for them to understand, what did they not get, and that's going to be something that you go cover in week 2. At the beginning of week 2, you can do a little recap. Say, hey guys, I talked to some of you guys in between, last call and this call, and there were some questions that came up I want to address here. And what that's doing is it's helping you create and craft a better program step by step, week by week, in the context of this feedback loop that you've built in. If you go and just create all 8 weeks in your basement, you're not going to get that same type of feedback, because this is really, really critical here. So this is kind of the first steps to launching your class. You want to create a closed Facebook group for them to be in. That's one component that I talked about here. Create a closed Facebook group for them to be in. You want to set kind of a precedent for one-on-one calls and how those will work. And you don't want to be loaded up with one-on-one calls. And so make sure as you do these group calls, you place a really high value on those. And I think group calls are just a lot of fun. People learn so much from each other. So those have a really high value. You want to make sure you're driving people to the group calls to ask questions every single week rather than the one-on-one calls. Each week, you'll just record the webinars and upload them into a membership site, which we give you access to a membership site in the bonus section here in the 7-day sprint. And then even after, this is a question I get a lot, even after week 1, you can keep selling people. So if you're talking to someone week 2, or after week 1, and you hop on a call with them, and you say, actually, it just started last week, but I've already got the first video recorded and stuff for you. You can watch the replay of that. And then this week it's starting up again Wednesdays at 6 o'clock. Is the call each week, so you can get here right on week 2, and that's not a problem. And you can do that all the way through week 3, 4, 5. It doesn't really matter. People think that's kind of weird, before they try it, and then I've never had a problem with it, and my clients haven't either. So after 8 weeks, or after the eighth and final week, you'll want to basically switch over to live Q&A calls or workshop calls, where you're not really delivering new content every single week. You're just kind of going and helping them field questions as they go through the content that you've already built out yourself. And then again, gather feedback between each week here, and really just be a student of your client's experience and success or failure. Go really try to learn from them and craft and create a better product while engaging with them. You'll have some very happy people as you go. Now, just kind of breaking it down real simply into kind of the structure and the technical delivery. I know we gave you earlier some of the tools that we use, but really you can kind of break it up into three different components here. There's the content, the community, and then the coaching with you here. So delivering the content, you want to create a membership site and you want to create some content to populate that. We recommend using ClickFunnels for membership site because you can build out a funnel really nicely on that. I also recommend using YouTube for any internal videos. You don't want to use like a Wistia or something like that because you get charged a lot for the bandwidth. So we use Wistia for more of the marketing videos, like externally. Once people become customers, we tend to host all of our stuff on YouTube. Go create slides like this in Pages, PowerPoint, or Google Slides. This is Keynote right here. Sorry, I guess that should be Keynote. And create slides like that, and we'll also put, I think we already have put a membership site clone link in the bonuses if you just want to grab a membership site there. So super easy to use. It doesn't have to be like super fancy. You don't need to go, have to get into Kajabi or whatever for this. The ClickFunnels membership site works really well, and it works really nice to hook it up to the funnel once you get a funnel built for this. That's kind of step one. Step two is just kind of the setup of and technology of how we deliver the community. Just set up a closed Facebook group pretty simply. You want to do a weekly group call with people. I really like Zoom video conferencing to kind of host the webinar. We'll do a screen share on there. Again, I'll try to post this link here below. This is just referral link. Click it, or you can just go Google Zoom.us to go check out Zoom. It's super reliable. You guys will love it. And record and upload to YouTube. Pretty simple. And then finally, delivering the coaching. Here's how we delivered the individual calls. I just have people drive people to a calendar link instead of kind of fielding calls through or call requests through my Facebook chat or something like that. Just always drive people to a schedule link. Use Schedule Once or Calendly. We've kind of used both. They're both really good. And then do Skype or phone, whichever one you prefer. I honestly prefer phone calls. Just because, I don't know, they're a little bit easier. People feel a little bit less pressure. I've found that, people are just a little more relaxed on the phone and we can just get a little bit more done. Sometimes I'll go for like a walk or something like that and kind of get out while I'm doing the coaching call. Honestly, it helps me think. It helps me be a little bit more focused for what I'm doing with them. And guys, this is kind of the basic structure, but really all we want to do is we want to get this thing up and running. You want to go out there and start generating some leads, which I'll talk about in the next video here, and ultimately get them into week one of your program. And again, you don't have to know how everything is going to work here. All we need to do is get the right people on the phone with you so that you can make an offer to them and get 3, 5, 7 people in your program and start the program week one, 2 or 3 weeks from now. That is the simplest way to go out there and get this thing launched now that you've done days 1 through 5. So with that, guys, I will see you in the next video.